is the Southland's #1 choice for news. KTLA News at 10.
The fight for Florida is being waged in the courts in a legal battle unprecedented in American history. Good evening, I'm Hal Fishman.
And I'm Lynette Romero.
Florida's highest court issued an emergency order today temporarily blocking the Secretary of State from certifying a winner in the presidential election in the state of Florida. The order will be in effect until Monday, when justices will hear arguments over the validity of ongoing recounts. In another setback for the Bush campaign, a federal appeals court in Atlanta rejected a request to stop the hand recounts. The news came as overseas ballots arrived in Florida. Early returns show Bush widening his lead over Gore. Let's go live now for the very latest to Grant Rampey in Tallahassee, Florida.
Well, the deadline for getting those overseas ballots you've been hearing about in the last week has passed. Just within the last hour, the Associated Press now reporting that for all but 2 counties, the numbers are in. George Bush has widened his lead from 300 votes earlier today to now 760 votes more than Al Gore has in Florida. Maybe the big news of the day, though, is that once again, Gore's hopes of catching up are very much alive.
I want to be clear. Neither Governor Bush nor the Florida Secretary of State nor I will be the arbiter of this election.
The vice president speaking late today after his campaign gets an unexpected lift.
The court has entered a stay order.
Florida Supreme Court saying it won't allow Secretary of State Katherine Harris to certify Florida's election results this weekend. This morning, it looked like momentum was with the Bush campaign after a lower court ruled that Harris didn't have to give counties more time to recount their ballots.
The rule of law has prevailed.
That was then. This is now.
The court's action is designed to maintain the status quo until its hearing on Monday.
Overseas ballots are due in by midnight. Republicans are waiting to see how much of a boost they'll get from them. Democrats await new results from hand recounts underway in 3 counties. Some of those numbers may not come in until after Thanksgiving.
What we're talking about here is the presidency of the United States. We'd be making a very serious mistake, I think, if we permitted the desire for an early result to compromise our basic standards and principles.
Yet another setback, meanwhile, for Governor Bush, who's back in Austin with his family. A panel of 12 judges in Atlanta says it won't stop the recounting process, as Bush has repeatedly requested.
The one constant is that things are changing minute by minute.
And between now and Monday afternoon, when the Supreme Court meets here, the lawyers are going to be working like their very lives depend on it. They will have to wait to find out how this election is going to go. It's anybody's guess. Live in Tallahassee, Grant Rampey, back to you.
Grant, before you go, one quick question. Is there any consideration, as far as you know, that these overseas ballots are going to be challenged or recounted?
Maybe not at this point, but we are hearing that there are disputes between the 2 camps about 1,000 ballots that have been tossed out because possibly they were not filled in just exactly right. And right now they're only counting 1,600 that were sent in, so that is a very large number. Whether all this will end up in court, who knows? But we still have 2 counties yet to hear from.
Okay, Grant, thanks very much for that report from Tallahassee. A police pursuit came to a crashing end tonight in Van Nuys.